Well, I didn't see that coming. Did you?
I don't think Nostradamus seen that coming.
Well, we are sitting here after the first night of the 5-Star Grand Prix 2024.
Defeated?
Feeling a little defeated about how we picked things. And I think that's probably universal.
Feeling a little confused.
Not angry or upset.
No, the other feeling is elated.
Oh my gosh. So, night one, we expected
It's exciting
to be a banger, but they blew expectations out of the water.
Completely unexpected. How often in modern wrestling does one get that much unexpected?
Right. Like, it's surprising, but also makes sense. And you're like, oh.
It totally makes
okay.
sense. But when we get young girls winning.
Oh, my goodness. Like.
In an important tournament.
Sorry about your bracket, boys.
Yeah.
Good Lord. But anyway, you're listening to Wrestling is Her. I am your host, Raja, and I am joined by my co-host, John. And we are here with our update for night one of the 5-Star Grand Prix, as promised.
Yes. And we are so excited. We're actually doing this update for night one as we're gearing up for night two.
Oh my gosh. This opening weekend, 3 nights in a row. Last night was like a late nighter.
Hi.
Tonight is at midnight our time.
Hi.
So it's a little more
By night
feasible.
three's update, I'll be sounding like
we'll be like real groggy.
Some New Japan legends on the stick. So
yeah, that was a good time. Having Tenzan and Kojima there was so cool. And they were so excited. Like if you see the pictures of them on commentary, they're like all smiles and laughing.
I thought Tenzan looked great.
Having a great time. They both did. Yeah, it was a fantastic little addition to the commentary team.
So what do we got, pal? What do we got? What happened on night one? For those who may not have watched it, and if you didn't watch, shame on you.
Yes. I know it was a pay-per-view. It'll be up on Stardom World in a couple of days.
It was worth getting up. It was worth watching from 2:30
to 7?
7? Yeah.
6 or 7. It was totally worth it. So much fun. And we started out a little early with a pre-show match 0 as they call it. We got to see Rion, Hina, and Lady C take on Momo Kogo, Saida, and Koguma, with the Stars contingent grabbing the win. Momo Kogo with the Nectar Peach getting the win there.
And one of the highlights of this for me was Momo Kogo being so nervous being on pay-per-view and being so excited.
She did look. She was like jittery.
She was in the corner like just like, when they push up on the corner.
Yeah, like stretching,
and
doing her thing.
Not noticing that Saida is over there. Hey.
Sai and Koguma like, hey, we got to do our pose.
Yeah, hey, come on.
And then they were just like, whatever.
But it seemed to work out for her.
She was so embarrassed.
Yeah, but, one of the ones that hurt me that we didn't have in a tournament was Hina.
Yes, it would have been cool to see
I got some late
Hina.
Hina love this year.
She's been picking it up since she joined God's Eye. I mean, I know she just officially joined, but since she's been wrestling with God's Eye, she's really turned it up another
Sounds
level.
like a book in the Christian section, like Wrestling with God's Eye by Raja.
But Stars did get the win here. They were very excited about it. They were cheering, jumping around backstage.
Hey, can I interrupt before we get into the meat and potatoes?
Absolutely. We're still in the pre-show, so what's
taters,
up?
Precious.
Taters? What's taters?
I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Well, tell me your taters. What are your taters?
My taters are thank you to all of the new listeners.
Oh, yes.
All of the ones of you who have just jumped in for the 5-star, whether it's on YouTube or whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, wherever it may be.
Yes.
Thank you so much for dropping in and joining us. Thank you for those of you who have read the article that the wonderful and talented Raja has put on there in the Reddit community. If anybody's from the Reddit community, thank you very much. Because God knows we love reading all of your takes on
we
things.
Love seeing you here, having you share your ideas with us. Absolutely.
And thank you for those of you that's engaged on X. I'll be behind the curtain here a little bit. It's Raja that is live tweeting. She is she has fingers so fast that I'll be like, hey, did you? And she'll look at me like, yeah.
I just tweet the first thing
She's like,
that I feel or think immediately after the match because I want it to be as honest as possible.
I think the coolest take last night we'll get to in a little bit. The coolest social media take from you is something you were like, hey, nobody's talking about that. So, all right. I just wanted to say a quick thank you and spread the word, spread the love.
Here. Like, stick around because this is going to be a regular all month long. While we
be sure to subscribe so you don't
about the 5-star.
lose us somewhere in the
void.
Yeah, in the void of space and time and internet goodies. Because
Absolutely.
we'll be with you every day of this tournament.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun. So why don't we get into the main card? Starting with another non-tournament match. We kicked it off with an 8-man where the hate contingent of Azusa Inaba, Rina, Tekla, and Natsuko took on Aya Sakura, Sayaka Kurara, and Yuna Mizumori of Cosmic Angels, along with Waka Tsukiyama, who was kind of the odd one out there.
It's so funny. I'm on this weird thing right now where I'm so worried about people turning.
I know. You were like, what's Waka doing? Why is she acting like that?
Yeah, I was like, Waka's acting weird. Waka. She's like, Raj is like, she's in another faction.
She probably just feels left out.
She's not in this faction. What earth are you on right now?
She has beef with Cosmic Angels a little bit from being a past member, probably.
I thought that one of the coolest things was the entrance, seeing how cool. I mean, man, how cool does Hate look?
The aura, yes, and the song and like the graphics
Do
all
you
up
feel
there.
dirty?
The stage was so cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
And back up a little. The presentation.
Oh my God.
Of the participants, as we do every 5-star.
How are we missing the story, pal?
On the stage, they all looked so cute, and some of us, Ranna Yagami, swerved us by not wearing their new gear out on the stage for the presentation.
So this is like one of the most wonderful moments of any of these big shows is, what are they going to be wearing?
Yeah.
Do they have new Gear Jones?
What's their hair look like?
Do they have new hair Jones? And some of them we knew we were going to have new hair, but it was really cool because Raj was going through them. She's like, new Gear Jones.
Yes,
new
I had to
Jones.
keep my eyes peeled.
New Gear Jones. New hair Jones.
But they were on the stage and they had this massive cloth over them so you could just see their shadows.
Oh, it's so cool though because they were doing poses.
Yeah, they all had their poses on and there were lasers beaming things onto
laser light show. Dark Side of the freaking Floyd or whatever.
It was so cool. Then the cloth dropped and we saw everybody and they introduced everyone from each block and showed them off. Except, once again, Hate decided not to join in.
Yeah, that's true. So out of the new uniforms, yes, Hate didn't join in. And there's so many things that we noticed as the night went on. And I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget about some of the Hate things that you pointed out that may or may not be things.
A thing, yeah. But it's just something that we've noticed.
We can't forget that. Or, you know what? I want to talk about the look and the presentation because of the new looks. Okay?
Yeah, there were quite a few.
Now, my bingo card, obviously, I'm going to take stock and buy a bingo card company. Because I've had to make so many new ones.
I know, because there's just things happening that we just didn't see.
And
I love it.
On my 2024 mid-year bingo card, I would not have said or have thought that I would have hit bingo with Maika having my favorite New Gear Jones.
She looks so good. And we know what Maika is and how she's looked for so long, but cutting all her hair off and having the long tights and just the flames everywhere and the coming out with the Kitsune mask without her fan.
Dude, she looked like
completely rewritten.
She was the top baby face just acquired by New Japan in 1988.
She does.
She had those.
She looks very old school.
Those cool 80s flames.
Yeah.
They're better than regular flames. They're 80s flames.
They're 80s flames.
It's before people got all fancy. It's like death metal. You see any death metal band and they got this stupid lightniness looking names.
Yeah.
Like Suicidal Butt Plug or whatever.
Right. And you can't even read it.
Yeah. And it's just like, what is that? It looks like wrinkles. They used to just put a big name out there.
Right.
Like Suicide by Butt Plug or whatever it was. but yeah, Maika looked amazing. She right off the bat, and she looked happy. What the hell?
It's like she lost a big weight off her shoulders. I think dropping
she lost about 10 pounds off her shoulders.
I think dropping that red belt really freed her up to be like, okay, I don't have to be the champion now. I can just be Maika.
Obviously, had Hate been on that stage, it would have been different. But Azumi was a close second.
We got Katsumi back.
Yeah.
We've only seen that look once in America, and I was like, what happened to Katsumi?
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But all the girls look great. I want to really quick before we get into this matches. So something you picked out on Hate.
Yeah, so we can talk about that with this 8-man match because it has Rina in it, who was my biggest test subject for this theory.
Yeah.
Because we know that when Rena is in a match, you're going to be clapping your ass off. She calls for the clap a lot in her matches.
So you can tell I'm our little shot glass game.
Oh, we pretend to take a shot every time Rena calls for the clap. Like, even in tag matches, we'll get up to like 7 times. Like, it's more than most people, okay? She loves to be praised, and good for her, honestly.
For a heel, it's kind of crazy.
It is, but I noticed on 8-4, and I was kind of trying to see on this night, on the first night, if I was right about what I thought I saw, that Hate, since becoming Hate, has not been pandering to the crowd at all. They haven't asked for claps.
Right.
They haven't yelled the Ikuzo to get them to rides or anything. They haven't done like the stomps. Nothing. No, like, they've just been ignoring the crowd completely.
Right.
And I think we saw that, like, throughout this night.
Yeah, I think with the exception of a couple of times that would be hard habits to break.
Yes.
Saya Kamitani.
Saya did yell for it once, but it seemed like a mistake, like almost like she didn't mean to.
Yeah, it was ingrained in her.
And Rena did do the breathing thing once, but the crowd didn't take to it. Like, when she was getting up, she did the rhythmic, breaths, like the ha. Yeah. But the crowd didn't clap, so I know it has to be hard, like when you've had that ingrained in you.
Oh, Rena did it worse than anybody.
Since you started wrestling, to do that every time you're going to have a high spot or something.
And I don't think we care about hate versus hate interference.
No,
but
not particularly.
As far as interference goes, really there was only one time on that, and that could have been, honestly,
just a spur of the moment, like someone being silly kind of thing.
I just wanted to get that out of the way. Something for everyone to keep their eyes peeled about.
Yes, just try to pay attention and see if Hate has stopped doing the calls for the claps and stuff during matches. They did win this match. Got a nice little armbar there from Tekla, who refused to let go of the armbar she had on Sayaka Kurara for a very long time, even though the Cosmic Angels members were like trying to get her to let go of it. I think this legitimately made Yuna Mizumori very mad. She went and shoved Tekla off the ropes, which could have injured her before her 5-star even began. Like, she almost got caught up in the ropes. I don't think she was expecting it.
The reason it's weird is because they don't have a match coming up.
No, they're not in the same block.
Yeah.
So it is weird that they would, if this was a story, that they would pit these two against each other.
The only thing I'll say about that is Yuna is mother.
Yeah, she was probably really mad that Sayaka was in that armbar for so long.
But, you know, even in storyline, she's the mom, so she would be upset. But you're right. It seemed like one of those things that Tekla sometimes seems unhinged.
Takes a few liberties.
and seems like the person that is going to maybe, you know, strike someone when they shouldn't. Yeah,
and we've had this whole thing going on with Tekla and Sayaka Kurara. I think Sayaka has been a very big target of Tekla's, like, idol killer thing because she's cute and wears pink and
I think
frilly.
Sayaka is going to get a win over Tekla, and I think that's what this is building to.
I hope so. She did get the spear on Tekla in this match, so I think she's like incrementally, she's going to get fed up with this treatment.
I think that's going to be her big win.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful when it happens.
Yeah.
So that brings us to block action.
Yes.
Starting off in Blue Stars A, Anna Jay versus Saori Anou, opening up the 5-star Grand Prix. Anna Jay looked amazing. Yeah. She had new gear. She had a ring jacket, everything. She was like ready to go for Stardom. And the crowd seemed to love her. Like, they were totally behind her being here. They were
into Anna Jay. Anna may want to
modify her gear a little.
Just a little bit, because
she did seem to be having some trouble with it.
Well, I mean, yeah. It did seem that way. It's just, I hate for you have to think about it like the whole match.
Yeah, like it takes away a little when you're having to worry about that the whole time. But they got out here. Saori Anou had new gear Jones.
Yes.
So that was fun to see. But they had a really fun match against each other. There were like tons of suplexes going on. And Jay got the Queenslayer on at one point.
Dude, I was really worried about, I mean, look, it's your first time in Stardom. Obviously, she's watched Stardom. So, but I mean, I was worried about that a little bit. But you know what? She didn't really have a lot of those issues. She started it off by taking her, you know, to corner to corner to corner to corner. Yeah. And I was getting worried right
Strong
then.
Start.
Because it was reminding me of this Spiros Arion of all things to mention right now. This riot, this total riot he started in the world of sport. Because this guy had main evented in Madison Square Garden with Bruno Sammartino.
Right.
Had sold out Madison Square Garden like consecutive times
right.
against Bruno, right? And the funny thing is, I was watching somebody talking about his career. he only lost like 8 times in his entire long career in WWF, right? Like the whole time there. And the whole time he was facing people like Jack Briscoe. He would go face Jack Briscoe, and not in WWF, but for the NWA title. And it would be like a double count out or DQ. This guy never lost. So he takes his big storied career and over to World of Sport of all places, and, you know, winding his career down, obviously. But he's in the ring against some jobber. It's his first time in. And the fans are always kind of, you know, they're kind of on their hands there. They're respectful. It's treated like a sport.
Right.
And you know how World of Sport is. It's different, you know, with your rounds and the mat wrestling, ZSJ versus ZSJ all the time.
Right.
You know, and people love that. Well, he comes in there totally just doing things that are not allowed. I'm talking like just a close fist. The way that he was choking and things like that. That's totally not allowed. That is like pulling a gun.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
Blasphemy.
so the people are getting really, really pissed because this is because it's just not translating. The poor announcer's like, somebody's going to have to let him know that's just not allowed here. That's not how things are done here. And finally, these people lose their... he throws the I shouldn't say jobber, but the jobber over the top. And the guy hits pretty hard out there. Well, he's bloodied in the mouth, right? And he just keeps at it. Well, something caused these fans just to start losing their mind. They start trying to come in the ring.
Oh, goodness.
And he kicks at them, and he kicks, and I mean full blown
riot.
Full blown riot. People throwing shoes at this dude.
Oh my God.
And him getting the shoe and just absolutely destroying another guy that threw it, right?
Right.
So they had to send their big baby face, Big Daddy. They had, after like 10 minutes, they just send him like in a jumpsuit. He's in the back, probably eating meatballs and smoking cigarettes.
They're like, please go fix this.
All he had to do was walk in there and punch him, right? That's the best way to get out of this.
Right.
But it was reminding me of that because I had just brushed up on all this.
Right. You were like, oh no.
and here's Anna Jay. And she's kind of doing the same start, right?
Right.
And I'm like, oh God, we never start like this. We never just do this from corner to corner to corner to corner. And I was like, no, but they
fell into it.
But
pretty
what she did,
fast.
She got into it, and I noticed some things when she put her foot on Sariano's neck, going across the rope. It's a very Joshi thing.
Yes.
When you're choking, you extend your body. Well, your opponent, they extend their body, taking the shoe, right?
Right.
And and I noticed, oh, okay.
She knows what she's
Strong
doing.
style. We had fighting spirit spots.
Yeah. There were suplexes from Sariano, her like holding suplexes. Oh. Like beautiful.
Yeah, right on the head.
Completely amazing. And then when Sariano went for pottering, her finishing move that she finishes a lot of matches with, Anna Jay was able to reverse out of it and get the roll up for the win and her first 2 points in the 5-Star Grand Prix.
And honestly, we should have seen this. We didn't pick this.
Oh, it's like a forehead slap moment.
So
we were like, of course.
We picked it wrong, but we looked at each other going, oh my God, you have to establish the new person.
Yeah, because Anna Jay is no slouch.
Right.
She's a woman in AEW that has done amazing things and had a great career so far. So, of course, she's going to come in strong and be like, I'm here to do business.
But if you don't have her come in with a win, it's kind of like,
Yeah, it's like, we all expected that.
Yeah, but what's she going to be able to do? Now she's a threat.
Yeah, you take her seriously.
For every time from here on out.
Absolutely. And I think it's a great decision, and I'm very, very happy for Anna Jay. I think this is going to show us exactly how good she is and how amazing she'll be when she gets back from Japan.
Much. Great job, Anna Jay.
Next, we had Red Star's A match, Ruaka versus Konami.
Wait. What would you give the stars on that?
Oh, this was probably a 3-star match, like middle of the road, very good match. Like nothing crazy happened or anything. It was pretty quick.
So funny enough, I also would say absolutely a strong average.
Yes.
So
strong average
because of what I would say like
it exceeded expectations.
So I would have to do 3.5 because of the fact that it's a good average.
Yeah.
Average is 3.
Yes, average is in the 3 range. That's like a good solid match.
Yeah.
And they definitely performed on that.
All right.
So Ruaka versus Konami, our first Red Stars match. We expected this to go pretty quick. And I believe you thought it was going to be a finger poke of doom sort of situation.
I did.
With Ruaka just kind of giving up the win.
Thank you, Hate. Thank you, Hate, for not doing that.
Yes, it was a competitive match. Konami even talked about backstage how much Ruaka has grown since the last time that they fought. she gave her a hell of a fight, and they even ended up using their own weapons against each other. Konami sprayed Ruaka in the face with her spray paint. Ruaka hit Konami with her black case, but neither of those things ended up causing the finish, which I thought was really nice because it shows that even with those things involved, it's not necessarily going to go that way.
Yeah, and I agree with you. On this one, I would almost the same thing we were talking about in the last one, but I would go 2 stars on this because even though, yes, they're equal on the interference and we got actual match, they still use gimmicks. And
they did, and there was nothing like crazy that happened in this match. It was fine. It was a fine match, but Konami won like we expected with her using a hell of a knee strike. Very Kamigoye-esque, but Ruaka was standing, but she still had her arms and pulled her down into the knee, which almost makes it more devastating.
I think Konami waiting on the box is where I go 2 stars at.
Yeah, there was a bit of a like slow down moment
Other
there.
than that, I mean, they were fine.
They were fine, yeah. And it was good. Konami gets 2 points to start off her tournament. Good for her. Next, we saw from the Blue Stars A, Miyu Amasaki versus Xena.
This was maybe my shock of the night.
It was very shocking because I certainly didn't see Miyu Amasaki winning this match.
Not at the level of speed.
Yeah, Miyu came out with a remixed version of her theme song, which we saw a couple of those out of Neo Genesis. I thought was really cool. They kind of mixed them up, like disco sort of things. It was really cool. But Xena did try her best to get Miyu, to get the pin on her. She did her chops. She had her hard-hitting moves the whole time, but Miyu just persevered. She did her best, like you said she was going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And her best ended up with her getting a roll-up for the win, and I think she was kind of shocked, too.
And I like showing, again, we're establishing things on the first night. Make this its own universe.
Absolutely.
We're establishing the fact that that's possible.
Yeah, that Miyu Amasaki can totally beat Xena. Of course she can.
And we can lose the match in just a minute. You know?
Yeah, it was really quick, this one.
I personally, because of the quickness and little robbery on the time of the match.
Yeah, like we didn't get to see anything that we expect from these two, really. Like we got to a little flashes of stuff. It was kind of like a glorified preview of what these two can do.
And giving stars on something does not even talk about how much I like it. Like I love the idea of what happened and I loved it, but
we love the story aspect.
If I'm rating a match, I'd have to
just the wrestling part.
I'd have to say 2.75.
I would agree with that, yeah.
Because it's not
it was like right there, but it wasn't everything that we wanted out of it.
Yeah.
And I know they had to get through 12 tournament matches on this first night, but
they did. They did.
It would have been nice to see like a few more DDTs. I don't know.
Well, the good thing is, I would dare say these two could have 5 stars if they wanted it.
They could.
So
I think so from what we saw.
Yeah, I think this was storytelling.
So Miyu Amasaki with a strong win to start off her tournament.
2.75 on wrestling, freaking 5 on storytelling.
Yes, congratulations, Miyu.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Blue Stars B, Ranna Yagami versus Saki Kashima. And we knew this was going to probably be a silly match, but I don't think we were prepared for the level of silliness.
So I think this is my shock of the night.
Yeah, it was another one for sure. So Saki Kashima comes out wearing the cheetah print jacket and holding the sponsor sign. She's been sponsored by this game.
God, this was such a great Saki Kashima match.
And Ranna Yagami comes out in her new gear, looking like a total superstar.
She's
and
a
with
boss.
A new pose.
Yes.
Amazing.
We noticed too much.
But the match started, and Saki's like, just give me a minute. I have to do my sponsor read. Just 1 second. And the bell is already rung. So she goes to the middle of the ring with her sign. She's going to do the sponsor. And Ranna's like, nope. And just starts going at her. But Saki refuses to put down this sign. She's holding it behind her to get it on hard cam and just making sure everyone can see it.
And once she gets the advantage on Ranna, she starts just giving her the business, just yelling at her like a mom.
Yeah.
It's like, you idiot girl, we got to get these sponsors out.
She finally did her read, puts the sign down in the corner and is like, you see what you did? I just needed to get that done. Are you happy? Now we can wrestle.
She put it in the corner of the turnbuckle
with the sponsor on it. It was very nice. And then they had a nice few little minutes of actual wrestling there for a moment. And then Ranna Yagami grabs the roll-up on Saki Kashima, the roll-up queen.
Yeah.
Just rolls her right up 1, 2, 3 gets the 2 points.
And Ranna gets her biggest. Like, listen,
she looks shocked.
This is not her first win, but it's her first big win.
It's like her first win over a main card. Opponent.
Literally like her second win.
Yeah,
right.
But she beat Sayaka Kurara back a few months ago.
But it's her big inside of Stardom. She's had wave stuff, but I mean,
yeah.
This was like the big.
So she beat Saki Kashima. She won her first 5-star Grand Prix match as a rookie. She was so happy, and so were we.
Oh, yeah, we were ecstatic.
Like, we were hoping she'd get at least 2 points.
Here's the funny thing. I give this match 4 stars.
I think so. Like, for what it was.
It's for what it was in the...
As a comedy match, it's 4 stars.
Exactly. if we're judging these on what they are, it was a comedy match, but it also had the elements of somebody trying to be serious.
Yeah.
And then you had the shock finish.
Yeah.
And the fans.
It had everything.
It had the fans in it.
I loved it. I loved it more than if Saki had come in and just got the 5-second Kishikaise on her.
Absolutely.
And I love Ranna having points. Even if she never gets any more points again in the rest of the tournament, I love this. And I think it did so much for her. And backstage, they were just like happy together. You know, they were like, let's go play this game.
Yeah, she's going to get more points because I know some people she's going to beat. So
yeah. So that was like the first quarter of the night. That kind of like led us in, like every 4 matches, they took a little break.
This was a short break.
This was a short break, yes. A little card party break.
Mm-hmm.
But we came back with another Blue Stars B match, which was Suzuki versus Hanan. And we talked a lot about this match going in our preview. And these are the 2 former tournament winners. We got the last year's 5-star Grand Prix winner, Suzuki, versus 2024 Cinderella winner, Hanan. And they put their winning pictures and like the footage of them winning those tournaments on their entrance screens, which was really cool. And it just added another level of like seriousness.
And Hanan started this match like she's been starting so many matches. Like she's in a hot dog eating contest on the 4th of July and Suzuki is an Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, I thought it was weird. She came down to the ring and immediately took her jacket off before she got in the ring. Just left it like she didn't do her intro or anything. Just left her jacket outside, got in, drop kick Suzuki right out of the gate.
Yeah, and it's a little bit almost over. Mm-hmm. You know, she's a little extra.
She is, and I think she felt like she had to come out here and really show that she's not the same Hanan that everyone faced last year.
Yeah, and she's been losing a little bit after we talked about this.
She has been a little bit on a downstroke after her Wonder of Stardom.
She didn't act like this when she was winning.
No, this is a Hanan that we needed to see months ago.
She's Desperation Jones.
Yes, and she was even able to avoid Suzu's big running kick from the stands. Mm-hmm. Suzu went up in the stairs, and I don't think anyone's ever gotten out of the way of that kick before.
Not that I remember right off.
But these two, they had so many like hard feelings and vitriol between them that when they went to the outside of the ring, they just wanted to fight. And every time one of them would try to get back in the ring, the other one would just tug them back down. Be like, no, you're not getting in. We're fighting out here. And that led to a double count out and a draw in this match.
Yeah. That was not expected by me on this one.
Me either.
So we
thought Hanan was going to take it.
They both start out under the gun here.
Yeah. They've got a point, which is better than having 0, I guess.
Right.
But they don't get that sweet 2 points that you get with a win. And I'm sure that this story between them is not over. We already know Hanan has feelings about Seira, and now I guess Suzuki is on her list as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
She just doesn't like Crazy Star.
She's going to get a lot bigger list. I would go 3 stars on this.
Yeah, it was really cool. I loved the intensity and like how fast they came out of the gate, and it showed really how much they both wanted. And the ending was not what I expected, but I thought it was cool the way they did it.
I can't wait to see what happens.
Me either.
With both of them.
Next, Red Stars A, Hazuki versus Manami.
I was looking so forward to this.
Happy birthday, Manami.
Yes.
She turned 20 on the opening night of the 5-star Grand Prix, which is really cool.
A lot of birthdays.
And she came out here with a lot to prove against someone like Hazuki. The fans were totally behind her and like in love with her during this match.
They were. It's hard not to love her.
It was fun to see. But Hazuki's a hard out.
Yeah.
For anyone, let alone a 20-year-old from another federation.
Hazuki looked good.
Hazuki was in top form tonight.
Yes,
absolutely.
She looked good, and I thought Manami gave her, 4?
She gave her everything she had, and Hazuki took it all and then hit the diving senton and pinned her for 1, 2, 3.
It was really good.
There was a point when Hazuki just decided, I think she was like, okay, no. Yeah. This is it. I'm done.
I'm
enough.
Just
gonna, and then she just 1, 2, 3 like really quick. Just did her thing.
Had enough. I'd give it 3.5.
3.5, yeah, sounds just perfect.
The half comes from Hazuki just looking top form.
Just making us believe that she could win the whole dang thing.
Yeah, I think she can.
Next, in Red Stars B, we had the much anticipated Seira versus Tomoka Inaba.
Oh my God, some of the athleticism in this match.
Holy crap, the technicality of this match. Yeah. We started off with Seira kind of playing Tomoka's game, very technical, very like they grappled a lot. They threw strikes, which Seira, I mean, she can do, but that's not usually how we see a Seira match start. And it took a few minutes for us to get to like the, okay, I'm going to outrun you now type of thing that Seira usually does.
Right. Yeah, it was crazy. And May did some things, even things like off the ropes that where she gets thrown in and she, just lands on the top rope and comes off.
Oh my gosh, that whole sequence where she just like the running, immediately hitting the middle rope, springboarding. She hit it with so much precision.
It's the velocity.
It was insane.
Yeah, precision and velocity. She was dead on her game.
Mm-hmm, she was. This was Seira at her very best.
And I think Inaba's more than up for the challenge.
Obviously, because these two were perfectly matched. They're the same age. They have similar ability in the ring. And that took them all the way through to the time limit of 15 minutes.
Could be the beginning of something.
Oh, yeah. They both said very plainly backstage that they want to keep it. Like, this is not the end of the story. They want to have more of these matches.
We're going to call back to this match.
I think so, too. It's going to be like one of those times where we're like, remember when they first faced in the 5-star?
And got 4 1/4?
Went to a draw. Oh, 4 1/4 for sure. Like, it was perfectly done.
Yeah, the only thing that would have pushed it there would have been an actual...
A win.
A win, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But I love that this is like the beginning of something.
Dude, again, I get it.
And this is your draw of the night. You chose this to be the draw of the first night.
Got this one right.
Good job.
Yeah, got this one right. Because God, I wouldn't want to pick this one.
I did, unfortunately. I picked May, but
it's okay. I got enough wrong that I can't really rejoice in that draw.
So my draw of the night that I picked came next. For Blue Stars A, we had Starlight Kid versus Syuri. Syuri out here in her new gear, looking $1 million.
Let's take a moment to celebrate Syuri.
Yeah, my God. Like, she knows what she's about right now.
So I don't know when you guys got into Stardom. Okay, maybe you got into it today.
Yeah, maybe it's your first show.
Maybe you got into it because of something with Julia. Maybe you got into it something with the cage match with all the taunt, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
With Queen's Quest and Ueda Tai.
Right.
Hell, maybe you got into it back in the day. I mean, a lot of people did, right?
Yeah.
We went on and off on it for a long time. I absolutely bought stuff, followed it.
Yes.
But it was periodic for a long time.
It was in and out.
And the thing that brought us into like every show Jones,
right,
was when there was a little match of the year.
Yeah.
And it was
you remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah, you want to talk about that match of the year?
Well, it was Syuri versus Utami for the red belt. Yeah. Like, I think everyone that year was like, this is the match of the year.
It was when Raja fell in love with Utami.
Yes.
And we both fell in love with Syuri. And it was this it was perfect.
It showed what Stardom was all about and like the kind of talent that they have in their roster.
And again, we had seen periodic stuff, but that made us dive.
Deep dive.
That made us deep dive and go in so
We're like,
hard.
Okay, we need this in our life.
And, for me, I have been chasing Syuri. Mm-hmm. That Syuri.
Yes.
Ever since.
I've been chasing the high, man.
It was like for at least the last year or so.
She's kind of been taking it easy, kind of taking a backseat role in God's Eye, just sort of working out with her team and doing her thing like with her family, not really going through any big matches. I mean, she faced Mayu for the IWGP belt in January, but nothing really came of that.
And that was amazing. Don't get me wrong. That was amazing. She's had moments of incredible matches.
Yeah, but that was still like fun-loving Syuri at that point.
Personal issues draw money.
She is.
So this is proving
oh man,
that personal issues draw Syuri.
Yes, because she has been through a lot in the past few months.
I mean, even when we saw her at GCW live, that was an amazing
against
match.
Masha Slamovich. Freaking phenomenal.
Just an amazing. If you go back and watch the video, you could see us sitting dead center and with our mouths agape.
That's the reason we went to that show.
Yeah, through most of that event.
Oh man,
that match, and it was just amazing. But I mean, so she's not short selling. She's always came up for big matches.
Yeah, she knows what to do in the ring and how to put it together. But I think she hasn't emotionally been in that place for a while.
When she came out. I go, oh shit.
The look on her face is so dialed in. It was like, oh no.
SOK is my favorite wrestler.
Yes.
And I was like, oh shit.
Oh,
and I think SOK had to be like, oh shit.
When she saw her. And this was such a crazy match, okay? Like, aside from the stellar work that both of these ladies do, the fact that Syuri made it a point to target Starlight Kid's knee so that she could do her own version of the Black Tiger leg kill on Starlight Kid.
This is what killed Raj on social media.
Oh my God.
She was like, because the whole match, she's putting it over. She's like, she's doing, that's stage one.
Yeah, she like got the stretch muffler, you know, that's the first part. It's like, okay, cool, she's doing the stretch muffler. She added a little swing in there at one point. Then she grabs it again, grabs the arm. I'm like, holy crap, that's stage two. Then we get to the end of the match and she got the leg around the neck, arm trapped, leg around the head.
Stage 3, baby.
Stage 3 of the Black Tiger leg kill, which you don't get out of.
Yeah, which is Starlight Kid's submission. That's Starlight Kid's move. That's
what she does when she's serious about finishing a match.
It was, nobody mentioned the fact that Starlight's been winning with that. And, you know, that Syuri beat her with it.
I know she went back recently to the Star Suplex and everything. Yeah. And it wasn't exactly the Black Tiger leg kill because she didn't have her leg around the neck. She had it around the other arm. But it was the move, okay? Yeah. It was her own version.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be a slap in the face, and
yeah, that's Starlight's thing.
And you know what's funny in wrestling? Normally, when someone does your move, they don't win.
Yeah, it's like, you can't beat me with my own moves type of thing. Because I know how to get out of it, or I know how to take it, right? Or whatever.
It's very rare.
But Syuri spent the whole match making sure that Starlight's knee could not stand up to that move. And when she threw it on, I was like, holy crap, this is done, it's over. And it was. Starlight tapped to her own move. And Syuri looks so determined to make this a regular thing. I don't know if she's going to like start trying to beat everyone with their own moves, or if she's just adopting this move as her own.
We'll find out.
I'm excited to see her next match.
I give it a solid 4.5, man.
4.5 for sure. Like, it was perfectly executed. Nothing at all wrong. Starlight did fumble a little on the ropes, but her knee was hurt.
Yeah.
In the match. So that could just be that she was injured and she couldn't do the jump right.
Absolutely.
So that brings us to the final 4 matches of the night. We had a nice long intermission to get us ready for Big Match Jones here at the end.
Oh my God, this match.
Because it was like it was a nice pace. We had like some nice, quick, fun matches. Oh. Then when we hit the second part with Suzu and Hanan, it started picking up. Hazuki and Manami was like a super serious match. Then it got to Mei and Tomoka, and things just were nonstop crazy.
Raja, this match.
This was like the match that we thought was going to define like night number 1 entirely.
This match.
In Red Stars B, Azumi versus Momo Watanabe. We know the story behind these two, their time in Queen's Quest together, the betrayal, and all of that. Leading into this match, Azumi had some very big feelings about hate and what they've done to Sai Kamitani and what they did to Queen's Quest and all of that. So there was no pause button here in this match. They were both on top of it.
The beautiful thing is we only got one interference in this match. It was real early.
Yeah, when they went to the outside of the ring, they did the chair thing, you know, like Momo threw Azumi into the chairs, Azumi switched it, threw Momo into the chairs, but then when Momo picked her up and she was hanging upside down, Konami did kick Azumi in the chest.
Yeah, and once. I kind of think that was just that she couldn't help herself or something. I don't know.
The ref backed them up real quick.
But
like, he was like, no.
This match, as you said, had so much story.
Oh, man.
had so much emotion.
Yeah, so it started out with Momo getting the lead with her kicks and her like brutality, but then Azumi started to turn the tables on her and get a lot of momentum to the point that she hit a move where she could have potentially pinned Momo Watanabe, got to the 2 count, and sat up and picked Momo up off the mat, which is something you do not do.
And this is exactly
in wrestling matches.
We picked Momo in this match when we did our picks.
Yeah, we thought
because that was going to happen.
We thought Azumi's feelings and her hate towards Momo was going to get the best of her, which is what this was. It was her like, haha,
yeah,
I can beat you.
Letting it get the best of you, and we see it happen, but we're both yelling.
Oh no, I was yelling, so mad.
What are you doing? What are you doing? And because it's just, we're that into the match.
Yes, and usually when you see that kind of behavior in the ring,
it's done.
It's to your detriment.
It's done. You don't win after that.
At that point, I was like, how's Azumi going to win this?
Unless you're a 1985 heel.
Yeah.
On Saturday night at 6:05, and you ask the ref for a 5 count.
Yeah.
Or you pick them up just until the babyface makes the save or something. You know?
Right.
This don't happen.
I was so upset. I was like, Azumi, you had her. What are you doing? This is not how you win.
But Momo's cockiness and her arrogance.
Oh, she has it in spades.
In the fact that she could beat Azumi anytime, anywhere, I think that was greater than Azumi doing this and picking her up. Because here's what happens. That finishing sequence goes down.
Holy crap.
And Azumi absolutely beat Momo.
Look, the finish on this was insane. A super Canadian destroyer from the top rope on Momo Watanabe and then turning her into the Azumi Sushi for the pin was insane.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it scared the crap out of me.
Because of the emotion in this, because of little things like the way Momo, go back and watch it, the way Momo looks at Azumi as
she's laughing.
As Momo's being taken out.
Oh, the way she looked after the match. Yeah, she was like,
she's turning her head and looking at Azumi.
Oh.
And there's shock on her face. And it's this weird shock, and it wouldn't be done unless it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
And she's looking at her like, who the hell are you?
Yeah, this isn't the Azumi I left in Queen's Quest. Like, she's grown up.
And at that moment, in front of everyone's eyes, Azumi became a main event player.
And a total threat to, like, everyone in this tournament. She just beat Momo Watanabe.
This had to happen. This is what happens when a brave booker makes a change.
Absolutely.
And this had to happen. Instead of having this wonderful, I tried my best.
Yeah, because for so long, the high-speed wrestlers have just been, like, the junior heavyweights, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they're, like, when they get in there with a heavyweight, it's like, there's no way they're going to win.
This went from I tried my best to I'm going to win.
Like, here I come. You better be ready for me.
And it changes the game. The air changes.
It's insane, and I love it. And I'm so glad that Azumi this is only her second win ever over Momo in the 11 times they faced.
I think everybody's fear about hate is just
because
squashed.
There was no, like, she didn't pick up the bat. She didn't even try.
Yeah.
In this match. And there was a point where Rina distracted the ref, and it was like, what's going to happen? But nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine. Everything was cool.
I give it 5 because of everything around it. You don't have to.
I don't know. I feel like it's a 5-star match emotionally.
It's just so the way it left me feeling.
Yeah, absolutely.
That to me is what a 5-star. 5 stars is always your opinion.
You can't get to a 5-star match. We talked about this before, where we haven't given a match 5 stars because it didn't get us there emotionally.
Yeah.
But when you have a 5-star, you know immediately because it ripped your heart out of your chest or made you hold your breath for half the match.
I think Dave Meltzer said one time that a 4-star match could be somebody's 5-star match easily. Like,
yeah,
it's just really subjective.
It's the most subjective thing ever.
Yeah,
because everyone has different flavors of what they like in wrestling.
And for me and you, they just pulled us in. It got us.
Yeah, you got to have the work, and you have to have the story and the emotions to be able to really capture us.
Well, speaking of story and emotions.
Oh man, Blue Stars B. Next was Risa Sera versus Saya Kamitani. And we didn't see Saya ahead of time because she didn't come out on the stage like everyone else at the beginning. But her entrance the music starts. It's a new theme song. Very dark, very haunting. And it says, like, right off the bat, it says, Golden Phoenix is dead. And then the music kicks in. She comes out on stage in a long black trench coat with raven feathers all around her head. She's carrying a flag that looks exactly like the Queen's Quest flag, but it says Phoenix Queen on it, which I'm kind of happy she kept the flag thing. Like, that's totally synonymous with Saya.
Yeah, it's like she's in an alternate universe.
So she looks like amazing, like incredible, and even more incredible than I expected, because we didn't see anything from her on 8-4. She just wore her normal goth clothes in the
unreal.
match.
She's an anime.
Oh my gosh. Like, if there were an epitome of a dark phoenix, this would be it, with the black feathers.
It was amazing. And just her look and her package. And
yeah. I think she should have come out second. Like, I think you did Risa Sera very dirty, making her come out second to this match.
Yeah, it's...
And then when she takes the coat off, Sai Kamitani, she has her normal gear style in all black with the iridescent sparkles through the tassels.
It's just,
dear God.
It was just so much. And she actually changed her style.
Yeah.
To this heel.
She did.
Every heel thing, like, move-wise.
Yeah, there were chairs involved in this match, but I think that was more due to the fact that it was Risa Sera in the match than it was a hate thing. I feel like this was just like, okay, we're going to do my style. We're going to get all these chairs out, and you're going to take them. And they did. They did use the chairs a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean... Risa used them just as much.
Yeah, it was very back and forth. They did a few suplexes trying to hit him, and there was one point where Barb kept taking the chairs from Risa, and she finally picked up the last one to try to hit Saya with it. But the match itself was not 5-star like level match, especially this late in the card. I think it felt kind of like misplaced. Because it just didn't... I know the entrance and the Sai Kamitani thing made it need to be late in the card because that's what everyone's waiting for, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't like semi-main or main event for sure, because match-wise it was very below what you would expect to see in the 5-star.
Yeah, I know what they're trying to get across. Story, I'll give it 2.25 because of the story that we established, and we established who she is and what's going on. But yeah, it was less than.
It was down. It was down there. But good for Sai Kamitani getting her first 2 points. Risa Sera did say that she wants to do a match that's no rules with Saya eventually. Because that's just Risa Sera's way. Yeah. So maybe we'll see that in the future.
I think that it was good in a way because we didn't have... It gave us almost a popcorn.
It did. It gave us a little breather before the last two matches.
After Azumi and before Natsupoi, it was a good idea.
It was nice. A nice little breather. But like you said, Saya is, she's embodying that heel. She did like a double leg takedown early in the match, which was really cool. And just like she's beating on people.
Yeah,
much more aggressive.
It was kind of like she loses her crap stuff.
Yeah,
and
she lost her mind.
I like it.
And that brings us to the final two matches of the night, starting with the semi-main event in Red Stars A, Maika versus Natsupoi. And these two, as we talked about before, this is a first-time singles match. These two spent a very long time in Donna Del Mondo together as friends. They carried the artist belts together as my Himapoi. And I think that their friendship really showed through in this match. I think they were very much just trying to enjoy themselves and like have a competitive match just to see what they could do, because they'd never done this before, and it's like, let's just see what happens.
Yeah, it was a solid match.
It was great, and I think Maika did so well keeping up with Natsupoi's speed. Like, she's had earlier in the year, she had those matches where she was kind of forced into the high speed position. She wasn't very happy about it, but she obviously learned from those.
It was one of my favorite Maika matches of the year, just because it was so different. So good.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen great Maika matches.
Yeah, but this was on a totally different level.
This was a great match that Maika was in that wasn't necessarily a traditional Maika match.
Yeah, and I think it was obvious that she was more having fun than she has been in a while, because she's no longer the champion and she's maybe feels a little more free. She's got this new look and this new like life about her.
No, I dug it, man. And I dug the finish a lot because I wasn't really expecting that.
No, because Natsupoi was about to throw on one of her finishing moves and Maika was able to stop her and roll her up for the win which we didn't pick. We picked Natsupoi by like a mile.
Yeah, absolutely.
We thought Maika was going to be too devastated by recent happenings to take this match and do something with it. But it seems like she took that recent happenings as motivation to show what she can do in this 5-star to get back to the top of the pile. And she very much looks like she could at this point.
Yeah, we had another roll-up here.
Yes.
A lot of roll-ups.
There have been like a lot of quick flash pins.
I'm not somebody that bothers.
No, me either. It's a legitimate wrestling pin.
Yeah. I mean, it bothers some people, but look.
If you can grab a pin that quick and win the match, then do it.
the high-level roll-ups they have in Stardom, I mean, it's some girls' finishers.
Yeah.
And that's
Saki,
the thing.
Kashima.
Yeah, Saki and Kuma and there's a lot of those finishes out there.
Absolutely.
So I mean, I like it and it was fine and I think it was a solid 4 stars just because
absolutely
the athleticism and the challenge of having a first time.
Yeah, and after the match was over, Maika got on the mic and was talking about how this was their first time, but it shouldn't be their last. And Poi said backstage that they had a nice conversation in the ring, but she doesn't think the conversation is over.
Right.
And they were clearly very happy afterwards. Poi was smiling, and they did Maika tried to do the pinky promise thing, and I think they've pretty much agreed that from now on they should wrestle each other more because they want to see what else they can do.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to see it.
And then
in the main event of the evening, in Red Stars B, we had Mayu Iwatani versus Tam Nakano. My goodness gracious. So Tam came out here. She has her short hair.
Yeah.
That's like the extent of her new look, which is cute as hell. She looks amazing.
Right.
I think she was putting on a very brave face in the beginning of the match. Like, no, my leg doesn't hurt. I'm perfectly fit. Look, I can do squats.
Yeah.
And then the first moment that Mayu hits her with a dragon screw, it's like game over.
It's all over. I mean, it's amazing. And one thing we didn't mention earlier was during that Starlight Kid match, that knee.
Yeah, I mentioned that Syuri worked the knee to get the Black Tiger leg kill.
My God.
Like, working a leg is always a good strategy in Stardom.
The thump on it. The working the leg's what made me think of that.
Yeah.
But some of the strikes in this...
God. They, the combos that Mayu was hitting with her kicks. There was a point when I was afraid Mayu was knocked out by Tam's knees.
I mean, they killed each other.
Yeah, Mayu seemed like a little ditzy at the end of the match. Like, she was wobbling around because she'd taken so many strikes and stuff. And Tam threw everything she had at her.
She did.
Absolutely everything. But by the end of the match, Mayu was able to hit her moonsault, her beautiful moonsault. And then she did a dragon suplex and then her 2-stage dragon suplex for the win and the 2 points, beating Tam Nakano once again. And Tam was very emotional about this. She was yelling at Mayu afterwards and saying that if anyone is going to beat Mayu for that belt, it's going to be her, and she will come back and get the win over Mayu eventually. It's just a matter of time.
And you think it could happen in this tournament?
I did pose the question of whether or not these two could end up afterwards as number 1 and 2 in Red Stars B, make it to the final bracket tournament where they would face the 1 and 2 of Red Stars A, win those matches, and end up in the semifinal against one another.
I would be fine with that.
Where Tam would win and go on to the final.
Yeah.
Which Tam was one of my potential winners of the 5-star because she hasn't had her red belt rematch. She's never won the 5-star Grand Prix before. And what a story it would be to go from this first night losing to your former faction leader, the person that inspires you, that you've never beaten before, going from that on night 1, fighting your way through the rest of the block and making it all the way to that match again. I think it would be cool.
Yeah, no, it's a great story. And it was a great match.
It was definitely 4.5-star match. Just the emotion that they put in there and how brutal it was.
It was very brutal.
Which we expected because these two, when Mayu gets in the ring for a singles match, she just completely turns into a different Mayu.
And it's hard. I mean, it's hard because both of these ladies have given us nothing but bangers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's always fun to see them in the ring.
Well, short of explosions, it's hard to live up to what's in your head.
Yeah.
But as far as this card goes, this match did what the card did for us. It lived up and exceeded.
expectations.
Yeah.
100%. This first night was one of the best like Stardom shows start to finish. Like Stardom, the conversion, and the two after that in Sapporo were both amazing.
Yeah.
But this just felt like
it was like building to this.
It felt like this is what it was all for.
and this is built to build.
Yeah.
It's not even the payoff.
Absolutely.
So that's what excites me. Is we're just starting this thing.
Yes. So are you ready to do your picks for night number 2?
Oh my God.
Tonight.
Sure.
August 11th is a Red Star night. So we have 6 Red Star matches. Starting with Maika versus Yuna Mizumori. And what we saw from Maika, on night 1, I think shows us all we need to know.
Right.
About how this match is probably going to go. This is Yuna's first block match because she didn't have a match for night 1. So unfortunately, I have to say that I think Yuna's going to not win this match in her first match. And I think Maika adds on another 2 points.
I think so too. I'm with you.
Next, we have Hazuki versus Ruaka, which will probably be fun for both of them. But I think Hazuki's probably going to take the win.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Hazuki again.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the the beaten downs. So.
Yeah, I think she's going to take no shit from Ruaka in this match. And then the last Red Stars A match is Konami versus Manami.
Yeah.
Which is not confusing at all. But I feel bad for Manami having this be her second
I think in the battle
match.
of the Anamis that it's going to be Konami.
You think Konami's going to take the win?
Yeah.
It's hard because I want Manami to play spoiler so bad, and this would be such a nice place for her to do it.
I mean, it would.
But I don't know. I think you're probably right. I think Konami is going to win.
Yeah.
So Poi is the one that doesn't have a block match on this night. So we won't see Natsupoi for Red Stars A.
Right.
On that night, Red Stars B side, Tomoka Inaba versus Momo Watanabe in a battle of let me kick your head in, honestly.
I'm going to have to say that Momo has going to be looking for blood.
Yeah, it feels like Momo kind of needs this win, and she'll probably get her first 2 points here.
I believe so.
Azumi versus Seira in a match I'm so excited about that I can hardly stand myself, because when Seira first had the high speed belt, Azumi promised that she would give her a match if Seira was able to beat her defense record for the high speed title, and that never happened. Seira lost the belt. So we have yet to see these two face off one-on-one, and I need to see it like nobody's business.
So I'm going time limit draw.
Oh, you think May's going to get a second draw in two nights in a row? It's possible. It's totally possible.
You know what? You're right.
I think I'm going to pick Azumi.
No, you know what? I'm changing. You're right, and that's good logic that you're using. I hope they use it too. Because, you're right. Azumi's going to win.
I think it sets up a title match, if anything, for the high-speed title.
Azumi's going to win.
And finally, we have Mayu Iwatani versus Saya Ida in Stars versus Stars. A lot of interfaction matches here.
Yeah, so Mayu Iwatani's
probably going to beat Saya Ida here in her first tournament match. And Tam Nakano is the one who does not have a tournament match tonight. I'm pretty sure Meltier's like teaming up in a tag team match for this night to have something to do, you know.
Excitement though.
So our standings right now at the end of night 1. In Red Stars A, Maika, Hazuki, and Konami lead the pack with 2 points each.
Wow.
Leaving Ruaka, Natsupoi, Manami, and Yuna Mizumori with no points. Red Stars B, Mayu Iwatani and Azumi each have 2 points. Seira and Tomoka Inaba each have 1 point, and Tam Nakano, Momo Watanabe, and Saya Ida all have 0 points. Blue Stars A, Syuri, Anna J, and Miyu Amasaki all have 2 points. That's something I didn't think I was going to say. No.
Damn bingo cards.
Saori, Anou, Starlight Kid, Xena, and Koguma all have 0 points. And in Blue Stars B, Saya Kamitani and Ranna Yagami are at the front with 2 points.
Jesus.
Suzu, Suzuki, and Hanan each have 1 point. And Saki, Kashima, Tekla, and Risa, Sera all have 0 points.
Wow.
So, that was night 1 of the 5-Star Grand Prix, completely taking us by surprise.
And we have 10 people with 2 points so far.
Yes, we have quite the front runners. A few, people we didn't see having 2 points after night 1 in there. 4
people with 1 point.
It's kind of crazy, and you can't tell anything from the first night, obviously. Like, this is just the beginning.
Yeah, 15 goose eggs.
We got 11 more events to get through before this tournament is over.
But oh my God, we can tell one thing. It's
going to be fire.
Amazing.
Oh, it's been so fun already, and I'm so excited to keep up with it from here on out. And everything being live and us bringing you these wrap-ups, they'll probably be shorter from here on out because they won't be full.
The place was packed.
Yes. Okay, absolutely insanely
packed. The atmosphere was amazing. The building was packed. There was a gazillion people stuffed in there. Yes. There was laser lights. There was clean lines. It looked beautiful.
Everything was perfect.
Matches was fantastic. It was great.
And we loved every minute of it. And we hope you did too. And we hope you liked listening to our little review here of Night 1. And we'll be back tomorrow to review Night 2 after it happens. Follow us at Wrestling Is Her on Twitter so that you can live tweet along with us if you're watching Night 2 live. We would love to see you there. But for now, that is all. I'm Raja. He's John. And thank you so much for listening to Wrestling Is Her.
Bye.